All right. So where we last left off was, officially the party was finally taking a long rest after having one of the possibly longest days of their life between fighting dwarves and a dragon. You guys were pretty busy, but uh, last session we kind of dealt with some of the aftermath of the Charlotte and Dragon attack, and how the town had been kind of affected by it. I believe several of you, with Ono being the MVP, helped save the individuals who were trapped inside the town hall of Bryn'Shander. And the party finally was able to rest and have a nice drink and converse with several of the townsfolk, ranging between Scramsacks at the Northlook to Elza and Garn at Black Iron Blades, to the sheriff, to Mishan. A couple of you went to see at the House of the Morning Lord, sort of like the state of events, and Mishan was focusing on something, continuing to chant and she seemed to be pretty focused, as the sheriff was a bit gloom when the party had arrived, kind of accepting things for what they were. As I think it was it Ibrin and Ono, as you guys left the sheriff, I think his last words to all of you at that time were, it was a pleasure traveling with you, before you guys left to go to the Northlook. The party, yeah, had met a new Athros, so different to the point where it was concerning if he was actually the same person. And I believe nobody actually rolled fully high enough to discern through his what's going on to determine if he was was he a doppelganger or is he legitimately Athros. And kind of, yeah, he's always been kind of out there, so the party kind of just assumed it was him and his normal state of nature. As everyone went to sleep, I believe, yeah, the last people that I spoke with were Bictune and Ibrin, who had a peculiar set of dreams that they had experienced at some point throughout the night. And I have to do a different dream sequence. It'll be for Miris and Ono, and this one would also technically include Athros. So I guess I'll send it to him after we're done here today. The transcript. We're all sending it to him before next session so he can see it. That way there's not a whole week of conversing about it. But also, he is there, so whatever, doesn't matter. I'll send it to him later. So the two of you, if you want to join me in the Individual Moments channel, we have a sequence to go through. Okay. As you dream, your vision becomes dark, as it has many times before, but different between your normal dream state and this one is a continually growing feeling of dreariness and dread. Before you see anything beyond a veil of black, you hear the sounds of bare footsteps on a stone floor. The footsteps get louder and eventually come to a halt. For a moment there is silence. There's an audible clap, and originating from the point of origin, you see candles in a room, sconces, and a spiral of primordial text light up the walls in a dull red glow. At the floor of this chamber, you see 6 platforms that extend outward over a cavern of unknown depth. Now with light, you see one individual within this chamber currently, the source of the footsteps and the origin of the clap, standing with his hands still firmly together. This man wears dark robes, a featureless mask aside from 2 eye holes, and a red halo rests behind his head. The man unclasps his hands and waves one from in front of himself to his side. Each platform, including his own, light up with their own unique red glow. Of the 6 platforms, only 2 of them have an additional response. A hole forms out of thin air, almost as if you're summoning a hole from like the void, like a black hole, for example. And stepping out onto the platform from each of these newfound openings are 2 more individuals. The first, a very tall elven man. His attire, a pair of black pants adorned with a skull belt buckle. His upper body has no cover, showing a very physical fit frame, with very protruded muscles. He stands on his platform and looks around as the second individual appears. This one, a woman. Or at least they used to be. Their body has been mostly replaced with a form of pink clockwork frame. The parts of her that are still human in appearance are from her collarbone upwards, ending in a very bright set of pink hair. Her chest continually emanates a small pink fire that burns hot. Her eyes covered in small fragments of metal that end with a butterfly that covers and slowly flutters on its surface. At all times while she is here, she always has some form of small grin on her face. The tall individual looks around once more. Are we all that answered the summons? The masked man responds, Your presence was all that was necessary. The others have updated me on their progress and will not be required today. I understand, sir. The individual responds with a respectful nod. Please state your current progressions towards her return. The large man speaks first. The search for the gate key and timestamp prove a continuous challenge. Bezra hid her puzzle box as well, and without the Wayfinder, it would make them even more challenging. But acolytes have heard rumors that one was sold to a gnome that currently resides in the Icewind Dales, city named Bryn'Shander. However, they cannot navigate northward until spell is gone. I will look for ways to circumvent this struggle, but I'm currently not seeing many ways beyond stopping the goddess herself to gain entry. The masked individual looks towards the pink woman. Garo's clockwork army is complete and can storm Hiroshima when we say the word. He is currently putting together the tools for the Day of Death rebirth. I suspect within the next few days, he may be ready to go on to the next phase. Good. You are dismissed. The man with the mask says before turning around, beginning to walk away. The tall individual nods, and to both of them, and with a wave of his hand, he reopens the spherical doorway and walks through once more. The pink individual stays in place, and in a very soft-spoken voice, she says, I've heard mumblings that Drogneel did not complete his ritual, and was stopped by a group in the north who refer to themselves as the Broken. Is he, or are they, a liability? If so, I'll exterminate them now. Drogneel will get the job done. There are more towns in the Icewind Dales that may fit the requirement. He hasn't failed me yet. If you say so. But now he will be behind on his part. It isn't a quick process to create an artificial key of Nez. I am aware of his adversity. He will be fine. Her return is still on schedule, even if they manage to loosen his leash by forcing his gloom form to manifest early. The pink-haired woman raises her hand to the side and opens her own spherical doorway behind her. The philosopher Nibiris's predictions continue along their course. This really is her timeline. The instrumentalist. The woman walks through her doorway and leaves just the masked man in the chamber. Don't fail me, Onias. We've jumped through infinity's failures to get here. There is no alternative, she says before the sphere collapses. Without a word, the masked individual claps his hands once more, and all of the lights within the room disappear. All that is heard are his footsteps leaving the chamber, as your vision returns to your body, and you awake in the morning. Okay. Okay, we can return now. I'll get you guys at the end of today a copy of the transcript too, in case you wanted to review it for later. Glad you enjoyed it. Alright, I'll see you two back. Alright. Um, as as the party goes to sleep throughout the evening, those would be the things that you would experience, and I would say the party would, one by one begin to awaken in the morning, and whatever order you choose, be able to make your way downstairs for some form of breakfast. And you like spit like as you like bump your head on the dresser, he like spazzes awake, and you see like this big old pile of drool that have kind of been formulating in the side of his mouth. He like rises really quickly, and you see just get launched like onto the floor, like probably about 5 feet away, as he like sits up and like looks around, like what's going on. I mean, probably. I think he was with you too, because yeah, he came to visit you when you were scarfing your face, and I don't think he left. You're welcome. Not he's he's there, but he's still very much out. He seemed to have overloaded on food and other beverages the previous night. All right, you open the door, you head downstairs, um, and you can smell some pretty fresh meats that are being cooked. Someone went out early this morning and must have hunted something. As you sit down at one of the tables, whatever. I'm just gonna assume the party has a standard table they sit at, and yeah, you guys had like a really like a long dining table with the amount of people who were all sitting there with you. As you kind of sit down again, you would see surprisingly Scramsax is like already up and moving about, and you can you can hear him yelling at people in the back room to kind of pick up the pace on getting some food ready. As you see him bring to your table just without anybody needing to ask, just a set of like almost like venison bacon of sorts. It smells fantastic, and you can tell that it is extremely fatty. As he sets it down on the table, there's enough for. It's not like a platter where you could just like scarf. I mean, one person could probably scarf all of it down, but there seems to be just like, it's something to get people started on, not so much to, yeah. Don't mind that roll. That wasn't for anything important. I just never did Spit's HP for his level up. That's literally all it is. Okay. Miris and Ibrin, what are you two doing? Okay, so you kind of get yourself ready for the morning and you head downstairs to join the rest of the group. All right, Ibrin. Okay, so one by one, the party begins to file downstairs to your classic broken table. No pseudo pun intended off of that one. Um, as the last people to arrive would be it'd be Arini and Matra. Spit and Athros would at some point wake up and come down themselves. Athros taking just a little bit more time as you see that as he like walks as he comes downstairs, he uses thaumaturgy to kind of dim the lights as he walks to give himself this pseudo eternal dim light shroud as he makes his way and he sits down at the table and like looks at everyone and then just kind of without much hesitation just begins diving into food as like he's a little bit hungover. Irini would probably not have a filter, and she'd be like, "So anybody else have a weird dream last night?"
What I'm describing as like the oh my god, these scary characters that you sent. You the Day of Death
Um,
rebirth
Mm,
Nibiru's predictions, the Key of Nez, Onias, they know about the puzzle box.
Oh.
that
Oh.
would be a negative from me.
Yep, same.
I actually
Oh, we were on the same page. I guess not.
I thought we were too. Damn. Okay. I look at Miris and I'm like, Miris?
I that's really strange because I had the same exact dream.
See? Okay, all right.
Same dream, but is your hand burning at all?
Surprisingly no, which is strange.
I write
I look.
inside of the
Oh.
box, Derogue Neil, and question mark, and make sure everyone sees it and then erase it.
Yep. Nope.
No.
I look at Ibrin. I wonder if we had the same dream then, and then they had a different one. Is there a way that I can write what's going on in there?
Well, we don't have to. Well, okay, unless they have a psychic link on us, other than Ibrin's ability to link us all. I mean, that's the only way that you could communicate with a family quietly that I can think of.
How many people are with us right now?
I mean, that's a table of I think our right now current party is 7 or 8.
You have 8
Matra.
people. Yeah. So with Spit and Matra, it brings your total party to 8 right now.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll burn 3 of them. Link everybody.
I mean, you're generous to give Spit the link, but I don't know if... I mean, look, if you want to listen to Goblin
It's part of the family, man.
Okay, hey, look, I've listened to his thoughts.
You would hear as everyone joins this mental linked phone call here. You would hear the sounds of Spit making nom nom sounds in his brain as he's eating food.
I just turn and smile at Spit, and I don't say it psychically because I don't want to jar him, but I just say it out loud. I'm proud of you, bud.
And he looks at you and he gives this big old grin, but there's bits of meat that are stuck between his teeth as he takes the compliment, boosts his ego, and then goes back to eating food.
I warmly, happily just get as soon as the psychic connection goes in, I look at Arini real quick and I go, Arini, did you have anything close to what Miris and I had?
I mean, the people that you mentioned, they didn't ring a bell, for being honest.
Okay.
I had to deal with sounded like Hedrun and what was her name? Freezer or something? The lady at Targos.
Phrygius. I mean, we make fun of her name all the time. I know. Kind of has it coming.
That's what I was trying to tell you when
I know when you said Freezer, I was like, no, I don't remember Phrygius being in my memory, my dream. But I couldn't affirm that because I was like, I didn't know if you were talking about the storage locker that we fought Ding Dong in and obliterated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I thought that's what you were referencing, and I was like, it's one of the two, but Phrygius was in the dream, and that's where I was confused. Wait, what did you guys dream about?
I would wait till Matra was either drinking or eating something. We just had a dream about Matra's sister Xena being hunted, and then I looked right at her.
I think I would look at her too.
She you see that she really didn't she doesn't seem to be as interested in eating the food that's on the table. Sorry, my dogs are going insane right now. And she keeps she more so is staring down at the table itself. Occasionally has a drink of whatever beverage is brought to the table. And then looks to it'd be Ibrin who mentioned it. Xena's being hunted. Well, that's not good.
The third sister you never told us about.
Well, I didn't think it was important.
insight check.
It's important now.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
If nobody else is doing it, I'm doing it. And
Yeah,
I'm
that's fine.
guiding myself because it's happening.
I'll give it a go as well here,
What would you
especially
insight
since
check?
yeah.
Ooh, nice one.
How do you not talk about your third sister? Let's go, Kitty.
Oh man, you have proficiency in insight. Nice.
Yeah.
Big ups.
I forgot mine.
First
Was
roll of the
private,
day.
But I did roll a 19 as well.
Yes, I have 2 sisters besides myself. So Attena and I were, well, all 3 of us were kind of just brought to the Church of Oral at a young age, and kind of left there. And Attena was the one, as the oldest. She was the child who most embraced the teachings of the faith and the concepts that they wanted us to know. And she was able to take upon herself the ritual to become the next person who would take over the church whenever something would happen to Phrygius. I doubt anything bad will happen to Phrygius, but if they would,
Sorry,
she'd be the one who'd take it over. And well, now she's not herself, and whatever, she's Hedrun now or something. I don't quite know how it works. But I did have another sister. I do have another sister, and she wasn't like excommunicated from the church, but her specialty in what she can do never really aligned with what the faith of the Church of Oral was. And so Phrygius kind of gave her the boot, and she went off and kind of did her own thing. Last I heard, which was a long time ago, mind you, she was somewhere down by the Red Run, the river that flows just north of the spine of the world. She spends a lot of time in nature. Some people would refer to that as being a frost druid. You can turn to animals and all that fun jazz that I can't do. And then there's me, who is the youngest, who, well, had to bargain to get their magic. So yeah, I have a sister. She's just, we don't talk about her because we really weren't allowed to when Attena and I were in the church. She was kind of a taboo topic, so I kind of just defaulted to not really talking about her. Doesn't mean she's not real. Doesn't mean that she isn't important to me. It's just weird talking about her, I guess.
Where was this river? What was it called?
The Red Run. It was it flows into the Red Waters that is south of Dugan's Hole and Goodmead and all that fun stuff.
So, honest follow-up question. Are you 3 biological sisters? Just because the way that you phrased it, you 3 getting dropped off at the church, I'm just curious if there's a blood connection or not.
Oh, we're sisters through and through. All of us are related. It's the white hair, pretty key indicator. Although Xena's hair is more, it's weird. It's different. It's like it's partially white but partially black. I don't know. There's something weird with her genes that's different than ours. But I assure you, we are all related.
Like half the head's black, half the head's white, or is it like
it's like
rainbowed
a half,
in?
It's a half and half. Like I don't have other ways to really describe that. It's just half her hair is black, half her hair is white.
That's fine. So I would look at Big Two and I'd be like, "Do you just want me to tell him what I had, and then you can just, nod your head?" Because I don't know if you remember everything, but I got a decent grasp on the dream I had, at least.
I gotta run away for 2 seconds. I'm sorry.
I see Big Tune has his Mic muted, so I'll just take Kitty's eating or something, and I can tell the story. But I can wait for Ono as well.
As Ono just like runs to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, sorry. Max is upset.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, since we're waiting on things, fun fact, when I opened up Steam Labs today, the first 20 minutes of our campaign today will not have audio because the things got fucked up. But it's fixed now, so we're good. It's just the dream sequence will be forever cut off from the recording. It'll be okay.
Oy vey.
Oh, all right, I'm back. Anybody blow up? No? Okay.
No, was waiting for you to get back. I'm
I
gonna
appreciate that. Sorry.
explain the dream that I had. I said Big Two might not remember it the best. So, basically the dream I had was of Hedrun, and it wasn't good. So I essentially manifested in Targos, and the people of Targos heard that we beat the dragon, and while we were there, it was kind of like mid-afternoon. A mist formed, and a woman came out of the mist, long fur robes of white tall, and unfortunately had antlers extending from her head.
Ooh.
And then a staff with 6-pointed snowflake appeared. Next thing I know, the church is in a panic. There are several ice knives thrown everywhere, and everybody was essentially eviscerated inside the church. This woman finds a man with some scrolls next to Phrygius and basically demands that he releases her, and he refuses. She kills him. She uses the blood to open the gates, and basically Hedrun uses a small sphere of my blood to amp her powers, and as it flows into her body, next thing you know, Phrygius pops out, looks at Hedrun, a battle assumes. Phrygius was actually winning. She was about to do the final blow. Then Hedrun turned into Attena and asked for help, and Phrygius held her attack. Hedrun attacked. Hedrun won, and then basically says, "It's time to find Xena. I'm coming for you. I have 3 of the 4 things I need to help my ascension to the throne." So, yeah.
Okay. Oh no, grunts out loud and psychically. Okay. All right. Okay.
Irini would chime in telepathically. Yep, that sounds like the thing that I had too. Except, well, the guy survived the encounter in the church, and well, now he's the one in the crystal, and Phrygius is not. But sounds like Hedrun knew the weakness to her power or something. That crystal replacement thing.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled on my blood being able to amp others. That's interesting.
How many
Well, it does
vials of
make
her
me
blood did
wonder.
she take from you that time? Was it 2? Was it 3? Do you remember?
I do not.
Woof. That's rough. Okay.
We were also frozen in ice for a week, so she could have just been sapping me the entire time. Could have just been milking it out of me.
Yeah, but you have a low iron kind of count. We don't eat a lot of red meat.
True.
Yeah, just saying.
So, yeah, what did you guys have as a dream?
That's rough, buddy. I'm sorry. Well, it was dark, and it was very dreadful. It kind of started out like, oh man, I can't describe the setting until like, it was rough. It was rough. It was like bare feet walking on a floor. There was weird candles and like primordial writing, and then all of a sudden, like this clap happened, and there are like 6 platforms all of a sudden that are like lit, and then this dude, I'm gonna assume is a dude, had a very masculine voice, but they were like, you know, dark robes, red halo thing on them, this weird blank scary mask thing, and then 2 other platforms lit, and then like this crazy pink automaton chick lady came out, and then this other dude with like skulls all over him, this elf dude with skulls all over him, was like there. They just appeared, and then they were talking. They were talking about us. They were talking about Drogue Neal. They knew they're searching for us. They know about the puzzle box. They know about the whole this whole Nabir's prediction. Like they're on to us. There's a whole army. There's like a clockwork army that's been produced. Garo, I heard there's so much. They have a fake or an artificial key of Nez that they're trying to build, and they need these like pieces, and I guess they need the puzzle box and us. It's a lot. The Drogue Neal, he's still a player in the game, and he's after us. We gotta shut him down. We gotta stop him because he's a part of their plan, and they're watching us. I can't stop that. I can't stop that. Oh no, kind of just stops.
Huh. So who
Sounds as
wants to
though
go
we all
retire?
had the same dream. A world filled of glooming darkness. As like he like pauses between bites, you would hear Aethro say.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair, yeah. I wonder if it's well, no, it wouldn't be proximity because, Kitty had a different dream than us, but I wonder how our threads are connected.
I definitely have the same one as Ebron and Yuri.
Interesting. I mean, it makes sense for Ebron to have that very focused kind of like, I mean, they have your blood. I mean, that's rough, buddy.
But could possibly have you guys try my blood and see if it amps you.
Hemomancy is a dangerous slippery slope. Like you're testing the waters of a version of necromancy that is perfunctory unfounded currently at this time. I mean, grassroots. Like your hematurgy is not something to play with. It's dark. It's dark magic. It goes against the grain of the weave and the essence of life and death.
You'd hear Arini. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about drinking somebody else's blood. It's kind of
Ew.
whack.
I mean, you eat meat and there's blood in there, so.
I'm all for crazy chaos and, let's do the wildest stuff, but there are boundaries of magic that I cannot condone.
Plus, like, aren't you and Hedrun kind of related? You would hear her chime in, like, looking at Ibrin. Like, if you guys are related, because you're both that, you know, the Aeroth clan or something, the Coven, whatever, wouldn't it make more sense for her to be able to use your blood? I just don't want to, like, ingest something and then be really, really sick and not be able to fight if we need to.
True. It's 100% true.
Not to mention, like, she, like, looks over at, like, Spit and Athros. Like, that guy, like, points to Spit. Our little buddy here would probably be okay, because he probably did that to survive. But, like, think of people like Athros here. Like, we wouldn't want him to get really sick before combat. That'd be a bad time. And, like,
Also, it just would be bad look, because he's already gloomy enough, and then to have blood drip from his face, then they're going to think he's a vampire. We don't need that look. He doesn't need that look.
But that would be super edgy
Don't
and
encourage
cool.
it. Encourage it. Don't. He'll do it.
As far as being related, I remember my mom being a part of the clan, but
Okay, but that makes you de facto, like, your lineage. Bud.
well, not even clan. I thought it was a coven.
Coven, clan, potato.
It's literally the same. That's like me saying there's a mage circle, and then another one saying that, like, there's an evil coven of arch sorcerers. It's the same. It's the same thing. We're just doing weird magic in dark rooms.
Well, how does everybody feel about going south and just retiring?
That's not. We have to finish business up here. They're gonna hunt us. Ibrin, they're gonna come for us. We can't just idly sit by. I can't believe.
I'm just making sure we're still on the same page. You know.
Yeah, no, I know.
Mayor's just joined and now is apparently being hunted. I don't know how he feels about this.
I mean, I think we definitely need to do something about it. Like, we can't just run away.
Logical. I mean, also, I feel like, yeah, poor Miris now is kind of lumped into the family, and by proxy may have he had the same dream. So it's not like we can just retire and be like, all right, guys, we're just gonna, flark off and go our separate ways. Hey, see you in Baldur's Gate in a couple years. No, man, that's not gonna. These are powerful players in the game. We've poked. So we gotta kind of follow this through. It's just.
Did we even poke though? Irini would chime in. Like, I think if we, I don't think we poked so much as we just stumbled upon some things. Being up here in the north, maybe for the most part. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Hedrun thing, probably partially our fault, but how are we supposed to know there was a spirit locked inside Sephic's head or something?
Not that I knew that personally, but I mean, I knew. Okay, not that I personally am like the catalyst. Please don't look at me in the wrong way. My research is charlatan, and a lot of what that is involved with is kind of by proxy of, Hedrun and this whole eternal winter. This rhyme makes no reason.
Oh, that's an interesting concept right there. So Hedrun was a spirit that manifested and lived inside of Sephic and then moved to Attena. So is there any possibility that Attena and everybody else is loosely related to me as well? Or does just the spirit have the capability just to use the power? Food for thought.
Ibrin, I want you to make a history check.
History.
You do recall, based off of the items that you've experienced and previous visions that you have had, especially when it related from when you were in the chamber with Phrygius, with like you experiencing certain events through like the eyes of your parents. You do recall that minimally Hedrun is in some way related to you. Hedrun is a member of the Aroth Coven, who has come back to life now by taking over Attena's corpse, or Attena's body. Can't really call it a corpse if it's still moving around.
True.
So you know at least Hedrun is related to you in some way, shape, or form from about 2,000 years ago.
What a bitch.
And I mean, ultimately, the
Definitely
big
not the
players...
cool hand.
No, but I mean, ultimately, the bigger players are like Oral, and we pissed Oral off. I mean, that's not... I'm pretty sure we pissed them off. But these other
But
players...
we haven't even talked to Oral.
No, but you gotta understand, like, a lot of what we're doing is bucking back at the Eternal Rhyme. That's the kind of what we're doing. I don't know if you guys noticed, I'm kind of trying to just have that nonsense stop, because you do realize it is a catalyst of this entire civilization up here. This is bad business. Also, doesn't make for good charlatan. All this, natural inherent evil up here.
Yeah, it's really gloomy up here.
It's
I don't
terrible.
really like it. I'd like to get out of here as soon as we can, but I think we're going to have to do something about Oral in the meantime in order to help make that happen. So at some point we're going to have a nice conversation over maybe a cup of tea or something. I don't know. Or we just blast her. I mean, I'm trying to do that pretty well.
I like both of these options.
Down to blast. I'm always down to blast.
I mean, of course. I mean, I feel like that's kind of our family motto. We're the broken. We're down to blast. So.
Next time we come back to the lightning thing, I'm absolutely scraping that into the side of the lightning.
Oh no, makes a note in the book very quickly.
Down to blast. DTB.
That's right. We're down to blast.
Speaking of, when do we think that's going to arrive here?
I don't know. Look, honestly, respectfully, chronomancy is something that I desperately want to learn, and dunamancy is also chalked up on there as well. If I could nail down some divination magic, I would happily tell you, but that is unfortunately out of my grasp. I don't know.
So, what are we doing when the tank gets here? Just because we've had a rough 2 weeks now. We still have a mission that we took in Goodmead that we did not finish. And then now there's this shit going in Targos. Kneat got his arm blown off by doppelganger Drogneel.
I'm working on that.
We got a whole lot of places. And especially with this second Drogneel. Should we go back to the mountain where we originally were and tell the other lady who gave us all these potions, I have a healing potion just shaking in my hand, that hey, only one of the two is dead? Like, we left on mutual terms.
I mean,
do we want to
while I feel like that may be an option in the distant future, as a like, hey, the world has kind of calmed down, maybe we can have a nice sit down and talk about politics stuff. I don't know if that thread is super strong right now to be kind of being like, hey, I know it's only been like a week or two, but what do you think you can do? I don't know. We got a lot of work to do. I got to rebuild Kneat's arm. I have plans for these automatons. Because we need protection. This is all the more reason why we need better protection, because there are evil forces out there and we need to take care of them.
So let's just stay here and hunker down for a extended period.
I mean, at least until the tank gets here, and then, I guess, yeah, we should probably make a move, because sitting in one place is making that place a target. So,
I mean, how much time do you think we have? Irini would time in between bites of something, because if she's targeting Matra's sister right now, I mean, we don't know how much of a lead she might have on us to go and find her. I mean, the lady's undead, for God's sake. I don't think she needs to sleep like we do.
no, you're absolutely right.
I'd say we have at least 5 minutes.
That's unrealistic. Could I make like a survival check just to kind of like generally like, from a nomadic society who may or may not have gotten into trouble in certain cities and be like, well, we've got to head out of town. Could I is there like a rough guesstimation I could at least approximate for the family?
For like how much time you guys probably have.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, make a survival check, I'd say. That'd be fine.
I'm not gonna guide myself. I'm just going straight.
Factoring in a normal individual's travel time, it'll probably be about 2 days worth of traveling through harsh environment to get to the Red Run with your tank. Without the tank, you'd be pushing probably another half day at least, and that's not factoring in weather. And as long as, factoring in weather and whatever things lie out in the ways there. But thinking logistically about Hedrun and the fact that you guys still haven't, like she has her serpent that you guys haven't really encountered since she kidnapped all of you.
Yeah.
And how fast that thing could travel through snow itself when you guys fought it.
Yeah, that thing is nasty.
It probably has, like, whatever amount of time it takes you guys to get there, it'd probably take her about half. And that's provided she uses said serpent. But she's also undead, so she could just keep going when you guys actually would need to rest. So.
Yeah, it's...
Here's the other
Yeah, that's
problem.
kind of rough.
She just manifested, basically just appeared in Targos out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Bryn'Shander is
But okay.
literally on the way
I
to
know.
get down to Dugan's Hole.
But I have
So-
to assume that is an extremely expensive draw on her arcane abilities. Probably
Right,
the
but what
reason why your blood is so important.
Which is why I'm saying she's one town away and might come back for more.
Right, but I don't think she would burn a teleportation at the risk of knowing she could miss us. You see what I'm saying?
Right, that's why I'm saying, like, she could take
She
just
could.
walking here, the serpent here, and we'll have a battle at the bar 2.0 again.
Look, I don't know any other way to maybe request this, but we do need a minute to kind of recuperate, and we need a second to kind of make a decent plan. Yes, the Red River is an excellent start. We need to get to your sister, Matra. That has got to happen. We have got to get to her first. We need better preparation. I can't just leave Kanit without an arm, and I cannot leave us unprotected. You're all too important. I'm not failing. And I'm not losing anybody, so we're not doing this unsafe. And that's final. And I cross my arms.
Well, I guess the best thing would be for everybody to get to work, do what they need, and honestly, we just stay here till the tank comes. And if anybody needs to leave, no one leaves without at least one other person, if not two, with them.
I think if we leave, we all leave together. We move in a pack, even if it's conspicuous.
Well, it sounds like you need to spend every
Well,
second you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in a workshop. No, I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be in a workshop. But I feel like, yeah, if you guys are out and about, I don't care. My ridiculous hypervigilance is, normal for a gnome, so it's fine. I'm always looking over my shoulder. I'm worried about the rest of you. So we need preparation. We need to be on point. This is our opportunity. This is our name. This is the whole reason this is our golden opportunity to make something happen.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. I turn and prestidigitate the schmutz off of Spit's face and put it right back on his plate just for him to eat. I just look at the rest of you and I'm like, I know we're still psyching. What is it, an hour we have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I look at the rest of you and I'm like, I don't want to not be unprepared. Athros is always on guard, and I want to make sure that when Bictune and Arini and you, Ibrin, and you, Miris, you all make your moves. When you guys do stuff, I want to make sure you guys are safe. And I can't do that knowing
I have
that
to
we're
go to the
not
bath.
fully protected. Huh?
So is somebody gonna have to come to the bathroom with me?
I mean, ideally, I would train my automaton to protect you, but I mean, it would just be in the sense of I don't think you need protection going to the bathroom, but I mean, in the times of desperation currently where I feel like I'm hyper paranoid that one of us is going to get injured when we're not hyper vigilant, building an automaton to kind of service that need. Is it paranoid? Of course it's paranoid. I'm a gnome. I do weird stuff all the time. I splay out a bunch of toys on the table. I just, you guys are awesome. I can't not have you guys. You're vital to my existence.
I mean, I feel like we're all pretty strong. I mean, I can do that beam thing.
That's wicked awesome, by the way.
I just watched Bictune yesterday slay, with help from everyone, don't get me wrong, a giant mechanical dragon. I feel like we're pretty strong. I feel like minimally we can. I think minimally we can go to the bathroom by ourselves.
I'm still building the automaton, Arini. I'm still gonna build the automaton.
Okay.
So I would take a drink of my whatever I got, put it back down. I think we've talked enough now. Let's get the ball rolling on repairs, maintenance, updating, doing whatever we need versus just beating around the same bush here. Sound fair?
Yeah, I mean that's fine. Yeah, I mean I gotta get to Black Iron Blades. I've a ridiculous amount of work to do, and I am looking.
I might come with you. I might see. I know. I wasn't too concerned with it when we were there the other day, or yesterday, whenever earlier. But I might see if they might be able to upgrade my armor too.
I open a page to a whole Bictune upgrade section, and I go, I have plans. I gotta fix your launcher. There's stuff.
No. I know. I'm not. No, I just mean just make it beefier, I just would like to, let you focus on what you need to get done before we leave. So if they can help me, then they can. If they can't, then maybe I'll just help you then.
Make me scared. I should have changed my focus, but I know this is the right thing to do.
No, yeah, you're fine. That's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna see if they can help me. Dudes over there.
I think,
but
in the perfect sense of having just more protection, yes, I agree. Everybody needs to be better protected. Arini, the beam thing is cool, but I don't want you to get hurt. Let alone Spit or Miris. Miris kind of just fell into the laundry hamper. Sorry, bud.
No problem. I guess I'm kind of used to it now.
See, that's fair. See, Mirrors is in the right place then.
You would hear Athros chime in. Wait, you guys are doing your laundry?
I do everybody laundry. Does that go unnoticed? Oh, sorry.
I've never done my laundry in my entire life, so
Always before everyone goes to sleep, I prestidigitate your clothes clean. Even
Huh.
after, like moments after battle, like when Bigtoon is like reveling in the blood, I will let you revel in the blood, but like your whole back half is clean, is spotless.
I feel like while I'm doing that and you're cleaning like the back half, or like by the time you clean the front half, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, and I like try to roll around in the blood again. You just it's only like 2 minutes of you just like continuously cleaning me.
I'm gonna come back to that. We'll come back, and that's usually what happens. Yeah, but yeah, that's as one of my neuroses, one of like weird neuroses. Yeah, Ono is like constantly prestidigitating you guys warm and making sure that you guys are clean and kempt. It's just a weird neuroses I have. It is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. You guys are clean.
Alright,
We've
cool.
literally had like only to purchase like the smallest amount of like cleaning provisions because I neurotically clean you guys. I'm sorry. This is not a good time to talk about this over breakfast. I've got to get to work.
As okay, so you all have really good passive perception. The only person who would not see the following chain of events transpire would probably be Mirrors. Actually, no. Mirrors, make an active perception check for me. So just roll a perception check for me.
Okay.
Everybody else would just notice this passively. Mirrors is going to have to work for it.
Matrix.
Oh, I wanted to
No.
thank you so bad.
Okay. As the party is like finishing their breakfast time conversations and like kind of making a plan of what they're going to do today, you hear the sounds of something outside the north look, and you like one of you like Big T, you kind of take your hand and you like wipe part of one of the glass windows to like get a view outside, and you see what looks like Mishan chasing after an individual, someone dressed in very warm clothing, but you can't see their face. As they get closer, you can hear Mishan like uttering out like through a mumble. Everyone except Mirrors can hear them uttering out, It's too early. You really should not be moving up and around." And you would see this like Kramer style pushed open the Northlook doors as an individual dressed in a gratuitous amount of bandages and a set of fur garbs storms inside, and they look around, and in a raspy like feminine voice, you hear someone chime out, "Where is the broken?"
Okay. Can we get this nice person a beverage? Yeah, us? Probably.
Are you in need of some blasting? We are available to blast.
I point at you.
pull a
I'm
dagger
like,
out.
yeah, you're using it. See, I like it. Branding. This is branding.
As this individual turns to like face the sounds that have been coming out of all of your mouths, they look very, very familiar. As they take a couple steps towards the party, not really caring that like Ibrin has his daggers out, you see they rummage into their pack that they have, and as they approach the table, I guess, Ibrin, are you allowing them to approach the table?
I put my
I'm
hands
still on
under-
guard, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I got a feeling it's Duvessa, but let's keep
That's
going.
what I was thinking too.
I was gonna say, is
They,
that chick got up and ran here?
They pull out what seems to be a form of letter, and they slap it down on the table. It would be, I'm gonna say, next to Irini and Ono, since you guys, I'm just assuming, are probably the closest members that they'd walk up to. They slap down a letter on the table, and they look to everyone, and yeah, you recognize the image of Duvessa Shane, someone who you thought had perished yesterday. Beneath their bandages that are encasing most of their body, you see that the skin that you can see seems to be like fresh, as if it's like underneath our outer layer here, pretty raw. Their eyes are a bit bloodshot, and they look to all of you.
I put the dagger away while she's doing that.
Duvessa, While I commend you for your diligence in delivering us this missive, what the hell are you doing out of bed?
Yeah. You all wanted a letter to help you possibly get into the Plains Guard. Well, here's your damn letter. With that in mind, you're gonna do something for me. You see, she seems to be both focused and on a mission, but she also seems to be, sidetracked by something.
I'm just gonna pause you there.
Okay.
We saved 10 towns. We saved your town. We effectively
don't.
probably are involved in saving you. We
Don't,
still have a message to deliver from your husband to you.
don't,
What else could you want?
don't piss her off. She literally died yesterday.
Yeah, I'm just more concerned about how in the hell you're standing here.
And it's most likely because of something I gave Mishan that she's here. So, what else can I or we give you?
You can kill the damn ice bitch.
I mean,
But
that-
that's on a laundry list
Okay.
of things we need to accomplish. But
Yeah,
I look at
there's
her.
steps to these things.
I look at you, Big Turn, and I go, there's honor in killing an ice god.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I'm black.
You can.
So, anyways, I started black.
Oh, well, no, I mean, no, we're Hedrun. Yes, of course. No, they're just pawns in the game. I'm just saying. Kitty, you fuck with a demigod. I'm just saying. People are right about that.
I mean, you can take care of Oral too, for all I care. But and
Just
she
think about
begins to you can tell that she's really bothered, kind of about the fact that she's standing in front of all of you, not because it's you, but just in the fact that she was dead as of yesterday.
Yeah, you were dead.
Yeah.
We're a little bothered too. You should.
Yeah, explain, please.
I would kind of tilt past her and look at Mishan. Did my item I give you guys work, or can you explain?
She would pull out from within her robes that she wears, the diamonds that you had given her. That wasn't what we. It wasn't what we used. And Duvessa would look to her and be like, "Tell them what you did."
Oh shit!
And
Is this necromancy?
Mishan would
Molded?
she would take a step back from where she was, kind of being thrown into the spotlight unwantingly. Well, you see, there's don't beat around the bush, Mishan. Tell him exactly what you did. And she would Mishan, her face getting a bit flustered. It wasn't my idea, first off, before anyone gets the wrong interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
It was the sheriff's.
Okay. Well, he drinks bad coffee, so we know.
Is there anybody else in here with us right now?
Yeah, there's a decent amount of patrons who are kind of regularing, either at a table or up at the counter. Even Scramsack seems to be drawn into this conversation because as things were going on here, the room kind of got quiet.
Hey, everybody, Scramsacks, we need some privacy here, real quick.
Yeah. I'll get you a room.
I'm gonna make a dark area real quick, and I'm gonna cast darkness behind them, so it blocks out everybody else, and then we have a
I
little
was like, all right, well, we can't see each other now.
Okay, well now,
Nope.
yeah. I mean, the
It's
people
literally
can still
behind
hear
them.
us.
And it's just like a veil, and there's just us.
Why did you now? Because we may have visual aids that we may need to do.
Right, but we could still see them.
I mean,
Imagine
we
us
can-
in a corner
Hear
booth.
us.
Imagine us in a corner booth. We're all there. Those two are right next to the table, and then just everything behind them is dark.
You realize if another citizen walks in and they're just like, "Oh, there's a dark portal of magic."
Not my concern. Mishan.
I mean, we
continue,
can
please.
still hear you, but that's
That's what I
fine.
was saying, Scramsack. That's what I was saying.
As,
I just wanted to cast it.
as Mishan, listening to the arguments that are going on at the table, just kind of, bides her time. Duvessa, not letting her out of her sight. You would see Mishan, take another step forward, just, because she was, on the edge of, the darkness that was cast, and it fully engulfs herself in the light of this particular area of the room. I'm sure those of you in the divine or magical domains have heard of a spell known as life transference. Well, this is a bit more of a ritual that those of us who follow the Morning Lord have heard of and maybe don't practice very often, but maybe a certain sheriff insisted that Duvessa's life was a bit more important than his, and he kind of
Whoa.
traded places.
Oh, snap.
It was.
Wait, so Duvessa, do you have like a really bad hankering for some cold, terrible coffee now?
That's not how life transfer. That's not how.
That stuff tastes like absolute garbage.
No, see, I told you, it's not how that works. That's not.
Not relevant to the conversation.
So where's
Sheriff's
the sheriff
gone.
now then?
Currently,
You did.
yeah,
Yeah,
traded
that's a heavy
places.
price.
The sheriff's the one who is now currently dead. I'm somehow still alive. And I don't know why you agreed to do that, Mishan, but here we are. There's your letter. I need your assistance, like I conveniently always do, because heaven forbid, after terrible events that take over my town, I have 3/4 of a militia left who can even summon the strength to fend off whatever evils may face us. You're the most competent group of people that we have here, and I, unfortunately, have to rely on you a lot more than I really deemed necessary.
Okay, it's gonna cost you one
Oh,
crisp high five.
Really? We just heard the sheriff gave his greatest cost.
Nope, I've got a different request to help.
Oh, and by all means, Ebrin, what request could you possibly have for the town of Bryn'Shander that
holding my
wasn't
hand up
already
for a high
paid
five.
before? And she would, surprisingly enough, she would actually meet your high five, although she doesn't put as much pressure into the high five as you probably would have liked, given that her hand is raw. But she still meets you for a high five, almost with, like, no hesitation, which is weird for her.
I'm down with that.
I'm dead.
You will now and forever, Bryn'Shander will never sacrifice another one of its citizens. There will be no more monthly draws of people getting sacrificed.
I coyly look at you. That is probably the most boldest thing that has ever had the most honest and truest vision to it, Ebrin. Yeah, you can't kill any more people, and you can utilize us 100%.
Ebrin, make a persuasion check with advantage. Since you have Oh No kind of boosting you up a bit.
I don't know what this thing is.
What the hell are you doing? Don't obliterate the town. Stop. Stop that.
Whole town of darkness.
Persuasion on the entire town.
I know. Get out of here.
Yeah, my
Stop
recent power up actually amped my powers. I'm actually persuasion.
E.
That sucked.
The town just starts pouring all of their gold into our pocket.
I know, right?
Look, the entire reason why people were sacrificed was for appeasing Oral. If you deal with Oral besides the Hedrun situation that's going on and whatever her involvement with the dwarves of the spine of the world and all that stupid jazz, you deal with Oral, I won't have to sacrifice people anymore.
Already on our list.
And even then, there's like 2+ weeks before the next new moon. So, and she like looks at like Mishan, yeah, because it's now Rohen, the second month of winter, right? And Mishan's like, that's correct, Duvessa. Yeah. Right, we got 2 weeks before I have to worry about dealing with a drawing again. So if you deal with Oral or whatever, get her to not require sacrifices anymore, or whatever fun things are awaiting us in the next 2 weeks, you deal with that. I won't have to make sacrifices anymore. But until that time, I can't make any guarantees for you, and I don't think my town is in any state of mind right now for me to begin thinking about that, considering that we're down about... And she like starts rambling off all of the shit that has happened in town over the last like week and some here. She's like, I just need a moment of peace, and I can't even get that because my skin just hurts all the time. And I don't have a sheriff, and I don't have all these... It just keeps going off.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
So I'll grab the letter, but that wasn't my agreement. So you can agree to that, or I'm not helping. Not only that, you guys have lost about 3/4 of your town. So I think that should cover your monthly sacrifices for about, I don't know, 800 people divided by 12 is 66 years. I think you guys are good.
See, but you don't understand, young elf, how that functions. And she, like, looks at you and she has her finger pointing right at you, because all those sacrifices weren't tied to Oral in any way. They were tied to some fucking shadow guy underneath the town who has no association with Oral to our knowledge. So, what if you were a god who wanted people to be sacrificed? Something tells me that if somebody else sacrificed these members of the town for their own needs, you'd be like, that's great, but I still need you to sacrifice another individual for me. That's not your call to make. So if you don't help, I really don't give a single flying fuck. But then the letter's absolutely null and void. Like, whatever.
We need that letter, though. No, we need the letter, and we applaud your earnest.
And Mishan, like, tries to sneak back out of the dark. So you see, like, Duvessa, like, grab her by the arms, like, you're not leaving. Like, this is all your fault that I'm still standing here. Sheriff was perfectly capable of running this town, and I am, once again, pulled from the brink of death, and I'm alive. And he's not. I don't have a sheriff. I don't have a sheriff. And she just, like, starts, like, breaking down.
I hate to break it to you, Duvessa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It has to be us to be the one to tell you that he made the right choice. I'm sorry. Was it stupid? Yes. But you need to be here. There's a reason. And it was a rash and bold and dumb decision, but it was the right choice. So keep your chin
I'm
up.
gonna stand up from the table, walk past Duvessa, and go to Mishan, and give me them back.
Well, she put them on the table already for you.
I would take my diamonds, and then I would ask, where is the sheriff's body now?
He's at the house of the Morning Lord. May I ask why you need to go there currently?
I'm gonna leave that to my business, and then I'm gonna leave the establishment we're at and walk out the door.
Alright, Ebron walks out. Everybody else, well, you can continue your conversation if thou desires.
We just talked about, like, staying together and, like, leaving as a group.
Well, didn't you say you wanted to go to Black Iron Blades?
I gotta go to Black Iron Blades. I gotta go.
Yeah, I'll go with you. Let's go.
I'm sorry about the black. There's darkness. Damn it. There's still darkness in this room. All right.
Yeah, I walk into the darkness and immediately get confused, and I go, "Help!"
You're fine. You're okay. Come on, Aethros. You know how to deal
You
with
in
this.
my mind?
Oh, I mean, yes, ideally, for the next at least 15 to 20-ish minutes I think we have left on this psychic ability.
Yeah, roughly.
I go, yeah, I walk outside. I'm just find them, whoever walks into the darkness and just
Yeah, you just, like, walk through the globe, and then it's just, you see all these people who are just, like, actively trying to understand what's going on, and then, like, the moment you start seeing beyond, like, Ebron walking through, they immediately try to, like, scatter and start doing, like, their own business, like, as if they weren't just sitting there listening to everything going on.
It's fun stuff. Sorry, hey, we're saving the world, guys, yay. Go back to your day drinking. Walk out.
You hear Scram's like, you heard the man. It's their business to deal with, not yours. And you hear, like, a random page is like, I just wanted to know what's going on. And you just, like the miscellaneous things that would happen here and there as the party, one by one, begins to filter out of the globule.
Love it. Yeah, whomever, I have a feeling what you're gonna do. I make my way to Black Iron Blades. Yeah, and we can divide and conquer, I guess. I reluctantly go, well, we're splitting up. Fine.
Alright, so I got Big Toon and Ono heading to Black Iron Blades. I got Ebron, I'm assuming, heading to the House of the Morning Lord, or at least just venting through town somewhere.
Nope, I am headed to the market. I am going to look for something.
Okay.
In particular.
Miris, what are you thinking or wanting to do?
Oh, I gotta re-add my diamonds back.
I think I'll probably try to find like maybe some sort of, I don't know, would there be a library or something in town?
There is
There
a library
is.
in town.
Okay, I think I'll go there and maybe try to find something on those like mysterious people that like me and Ono had a dream about, and just try to look into that more.
Okay, so kind of doing some research at the library.
Yep.
Okay, and that is every active member here in the party. You know, the party is not quite sure where exactly Aethros heads off to, but Aethros will dip and head somewhere, and I think Arini and Spit will probably stay together somewhere as well. Give me just a hot second.
Where are you tossing Matra?
Oh, I mean, I'm going to assume that Arini would probably tag her along to make sure that she's always under watch, considering that the party's afraid she's a flight risk.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Cool.
How close is the library to Black Iron Blades? Is it within 120 feet of me?
I would say it's it'd be at, like, one of the side roads behind the town hall. So you're at the north end of town. The library would be on the south end of town, somewhere.
He's far away. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, decently far.
Okay.
You want to make a circle around the building?
No, I was gonna give him. Because as soon as Mirrors walked away, I was gonna give him Gebetto, and like periodically guide him. But he's out of my range. He's at 120 feet, and I don't have like spell sniper or anything.
Cool. Now we know which one's the library.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out my sizing bullshit. Whatever, I can't get it to go nicely. So yeah, the building over here, the long L-shaped one, is going to be your library for the purposes of our adventure.
La biblioteca.
¿Dónde está
Sí.
la biblioteca?
What's up?
I just said, ¿Dónde está la
Oh,
biblioteca?
sorry.
Classic community
Yeah.
reference.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
C. Okay. Starting with Ebryn, since you were the one who left the tavern first. You said you were heading to the market, so you would be like, I would say the party would be able to like see you a decent ways ahead as you all began filtering out. So they would see like you actively walking towards the town square. So Big Tune, oh no, you know that Ebryn's heading somewhere in like the middle to southern part of town. Ebryn, you pass Black Iron Blades this early period in the morning. You would see, as per usual, the sun peeking over the far horizon, with the blizzard being gone from yesterday. But it seems to be, as per usual, it seems to be like reaching its setting period. So by 8 a.m. ish, the sun will probably be disappearing out of the sky. The light will still be like your low light, night light type brightness, but you're an elf. You have 120 feet of dark vision. You can see that just fine. As you make your way to the market square, you would see as you hit the market square, the remains of the Charlatan Dragon are still not so much taped off, but rather there's like an active guard like posted around it to make sure that no one's doing stupid shit, per Ono last night. And you would see that there are a couple of stands that are currently being occupied by, it looks like, traders. I guess, what are you looking to do?
I am looking for a flower vendor.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Perception. Oh, Jesus.
So you do see that, like, while they're not so much directly like a flower vendor, they're a trader who seems to be coming in and out of like the 10 Towns area. You do see that they do have a albeit very limited selection of flowers that are available for purchase alongside other items like furs and pretty much things that you could find by just traveling through the wilds. Nothing super crazy, but they do seem to have a small flower selection because there are some flowers that specifically grow up here in the north.
I would walk up to the vendor and, hello there. I'd like to take a look at your flowers.
And you would see the vendor is a probably middle-aged woman, blonde hair. They have a couple scars on their face from whatever adventures they might have been a part of, and they are dressed in very nicely, nice and very warm-looking clothing. As they like look at you coming up, they look down at the flowers and they give you kind of a nod. Yeah, I picked some of these within the last 2 days here, so they're still pretty fresh. We have the classic Void Blossom flower. People say sometimes that's apparently used in petrification serums, but I don't think that's what you're here for. You'd be looking for more of the snow lily, and she holds out it's like a sample, or like just for you to like analyze. It's essentially like a lily, but it's fully white in color. The stem itself is almost like a whitish blue compared to like the normal green that you would see on most other plants that grow in other parts of the world. And she has a rather decent amount of them. Yeah, there's a not so much a field, but they peek through the snow just off of the roadways on your ways back and forth between the towns, so it's easy enough to collect some of these. If you're looking to purchase a bouquet worth of these, you'd be looking at probably about 5 gold pieces. And I can get you probably about a dozen of them for that. And she has way more than enough here. She would just assemble it into a bouquet for you if you wanted.
If you could, please.
Right. And she would ask for the transfer of payment and then begin kind of wrapping the flowers themselves. She has the equivalent of a rubber band that she would I guess it'd be more so string. She would tie it with some strings and then wrap it in a really loose a very thin parchmenty casing to form a bouquet for you. Oh, what's the occasion?
A great man has made a sacrifice and is no longer with us, and I would like to pay him some respect.
Well, I think the flower choice that you have here is a good flower to, put on someone's grave. They'll last a while. It's cold up here, but by all means. And she extends the bouquet for you, and she would take payment for said flowers. Is there anything else I can do for you? Anything at all?
If you see a woman with antlers in her head, give me a heads up. Otherwise, I would hand her the 5 gold and tell her to have a great rest of her day. And then I would head over to the House of the Morning Lord.
House, woman with antlers in their head. Are they human? Are they okay? Are they some weird experiment?
This lady's gonna stop Arini in the middle of the road.
As I'm walking away, I'd be like, "They're a problem." Just
put a target on poor Arini.
Okay. Do they have normal feet? As you would see Arini and Matra and probably Spit all traveling through through town square heading somewhere else. Because there's a person with antlers right there.
Yep, she's part of my group. She's a satyr.
So not that one.
Nope, the other one's a human with deer antlers.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll let someone know. And she just goes back about her business as another person walks up to her booth. All right, and you head off to the House of the Morning Lord. We'll pan over to let's do Bictune and Ono as you see you would see Ebryn reaching one of the stand where he would buy the flowers as you guys would reach Black Iron Blades, and the door itself to Black Iron Blades is open. It's business hours, and you step inside and you're met with the usual amount of warmth compared to what you experienced yesterday, where it was a bit cooler. from the forge being kind of put down to a simmer. But now it seems the forge is back in full swing. And you can hear Garn in the back hammering away at something. Elza would see you both come in. Ah, friends! It's good to see you this fine morning.
Good morning. I just walk straight into business. I just act like I work there now. Like I just walk in.
Yeah, she doesn't even seem phased, honestly, because you've been helping them out previously too. So she just kind of gives you acknowledgement. She sees Big Two walking in too. You here to help again today too, are you?
I mean, yeah, but I should also maybe use some help from you guys too. I mean, when I say help, I mean buy something from you if you can manage to squeeze it in.
Hi, what you thinking? What you thinking? As she like puts her like her elbows up on the counter, like business. She's gone from construction to let's do business mentality here.
Yeah.
She talks to you.
Well, I gesture to both my armor and my shield and say, "Is there anything we can do to make either of these or both of these better?" And we can talk price if you can.
She like looks you up and down, and like does like a walk around to see like what the armor that you're wearing, and like she's pretty familiar with your shield given the work that was it Garn who did it? No, it was Grendel who did it over in East Haven. So never mind. She like looks at your bracer that you have on attached to your shield. She's like, "Well, I can tell right there that's Grendel's work over in East Haven, ain't it?"
It sure is.
Yeah, you're not going to find a better dwarf in the north here. Not saying that we're not good at what we do here, but he's from a generation before us even, so he's really good at his craft. And she like looks at your armor. I mean, there's always room for improvement. It really just comes down to what you want to do.
I wanna be beefy when I flex a little bit. I mean, you saw the fight we were in. I mean, that was no laughing matter. I mean, and we've only got tougher and tougher fights to come. So anything you can do to help me with my shield and my armor here would be very helpful.
And she would like she'd run her hand and like she'd run her hand over like some parts of your splint as you're like basically just like her mannequin right now, and she like grabs one of her working hammers just for like pounding out dents in like or like rounding out objects, and she like hammers your splint just lightly to like test its strength, and like does it in a couple different places on your person. I think there's definitely some potential here. We could probably do something with this. I'm not going to say that it'd be done for free, but there'd definitely be a reduced cost.
I wouldn't expect it to be.
There'd definitely be a reduced cost for the work that, well, one, and she like points back to Ono, that young gnome there does for us all the time, as well as for you guys saving the town yesterday. And I'd like to think that we're on good terms. Us and you, so yeah, and she like almost like without your consent just begins like undoing parts of your armor. I promise this isn't going to be weird. She like begins like trying to like undo certain fragments of your armor there that you're wearing. If you let me borrow this, well, actually, how would you like to take a go at trying to make an improvement? Would you like to do some hands-on work, or would you like one of us professionals to give it a whirl?
I mean, if you're confident that if I mess it up, you can fix it, sure, absolutely.
Oh, I think we could help you. It'd give you some... it'd free me up for part of the day, and it'd give you some experience working in a forge. Not sure you want to do that, but your friend back there is very confident in what he does. We got Garn back there already working. I think we can beef up this armor just a little bit. Might make it a little more durable, and you'll probably feel a lot less hit, or at least a few less hits before they start, bringing out in some pain. Also known as, in games terms, we could probably boost them from splint armor to +1 splint armor to boost your AC by 1.
There you go.
Sure. I'm down with that.
Get up and he's down with the splint armor.
As she continues to get your splint armor off. You're honestly surprised by the speed that she's able to do that. Not that she undresses people all the time, but just like she seems to have a different way of removing the armor compared to like what someone doing it by themselves would at a camp or getting ready for sleep at night. As she holds the splint armor in her hands, it's decently heavy, but she like kind of points through with you like what she's looking to do. She's like, well, we could add some reinforcement here and here, and then we could extend these bits here by just a little bit more. It requires some new ingots, but we just got some in not that long ago, a couple days ago even. And with the supplies that are, I'm sure, able to be possibly used, maybe. And she like looks over at Ono and looks back at you from that wonderful mechanical beast outside. I think there's a lot of potential here. So, if you want to go melt down some ingots and get things ready to go, I'll get this to Garn and tell him what we're going to do, and then he'll help you craft things. And just like begins like writing down the plans as and then takes with you the splint armor, and that you guys go to the back forge to begin work on increasing your armor. Oh no, what are you working on actively? Like, what do you want to do?
What am I doing? Well, first up on the list is Kanit. I do want to do my thing, but I'm gotta focus on Kanit real quick. So I pull. Bear with me. I pull a handle out from like my little satchel, and it looks like the handle of like a small tool case or tool pouch or something like that. But there's not really anything hanging from it other than like a little fabric. I shake the fabric, and then it just sounds like glass clinking and a couple of metallic tools, kind of clinking around as it expands. As I use my right tool for the job trait, and I make an alchemy kit for the day. And I set that down, and I pull the assassin's arm that was like already disconnected, and I'm like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, and I take Kanit's busted arm, and I'm basically reverse engineering and trying to fit his stuff and make it more amicable for him to utilize, while at the same time the alchemy kit, I take out the everlasting, or the decanter, the everlasting amazing cool canter, whatever.
Yep.
And I take out my one vial of the lifespan. I popped the
Okay.
I'm taking a shot. Taking a shot. I pop the decanter open. I dump the lifespan into the decanter. Close the lid. Shake it up. I hope. And out of the alchemy kit, I start pulling out like several small vials to make more pods for Kanit, and hopefully the decanter does replicate the lifespan, and I start making Kanit's arm, basically rebuilding his arm, but giving him more slots to utilize. So instead of, I think you said 3 charges he had.
There was 2 at a time. So,
2 at a time?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm trying to like double that. I'm trying to make it so that like his arm looks like he just bulked up, but it's like the mass that he has gained, if it's like he's flexing, are all lifespan vials like ready to go. So I'm
nice.
like I'm trying to make like he had 2 going free. I'm trying to make like 6 in there.
Okay. I want you first for the decanter trying to replicate the lifespan. I want you to make an Arcana check.
Ooh, okay. Hot Arcana check.
And for creating the for like working on the arm, because I believe you should. Do you now have proficiency in Smith's tools?
Yes,
or my...
any tool, because the right tool for the job
Right.
gives me proficiency with any tool that I use.
Okay. Well, the next one would be a check with your Smith's tools.
I Tinker's tools, or yeah, okay. Okay, so can I guide myself on the first roll?
Yep, you can choose one or the other to guide yourself on. So
Okay,
if you want to
but
guide yourself on the first one, that's fine.
Yeah, I definitely want to guide myself on this decanter roll. Please be good. Oh, you are so close. Yeah.
Okay. And I want you to roll your other one before I tell you.
Copy. Okay.
And Big Tune, I want you're going to make 2 checks for me. You're going to make
Oh my god.
You're going to make an athletics check, and you're also going to make a sleight of hand check for me as you guys work throughout your day to do all of these things.
Terrible.
Very nice. Okay. So, Ono, as you continually think about like how you're going to try and improve Kenit's arm to make it a bit more viable for him, at least for these for the time period that he's here in the Frozen North. You put the lifespan vial that you had, like vial and everything, or just the liquid inside?
No,
the
it's just the
decanter?
liquid. Just
Okay.
I did earlier with like my water. I took my water skein, I dumped the water into the decanter, closed it, shook it back up, and then it started dumping the
Gotcha.
water. I was literally just hoping like, please, I know this is probably not going to work, but I hope it does work because it's a liquid. I mean,
As you focus on the decanter and you think about the lifespan that you had just poured inside, and you tighten the lid and you do your thing and you open the lid back up, you see that the decanter itself is not completely full. In fact, the lifespan that you had poured inside, you feel as though you really only doubled the amount that you started with. So you have 1 extra vial worth of lifespan from inside.
I will take that.
And
That's fine.
the slight disappointment for the amount of lifespan that you might have gotten, even though you were like unsure of whether or not it would actually even work, you that thought seems to kind of linger in the back of your mind, and you have a hard time letting it go, and it unfortunately causes you to be a bit distracted as you're trying to craft the arm. What you're trying to graft together, while ordinarily you feel as though you could probably find solutions to this situation, you're so caught up in thought that like these arms look entirely different, and your first iteration of what you're trying to do for Kenit unfortunately does not have
hands,
it has
right?
does not
He had claw hands, right?
he had
Nickname?
okay, sorry.
No, I was just making it like I'm making it worse. I'm like his wrist rotated like 560 degrees, right? 500. Like, am I right? Right? He had like a ball on his elbow, right? Am I the only one who thought? No, I did this wrong.
As Big Tune is just so locked in thought on trying to improve his armor, you see that he's like working like hand in hand with like Garn, melting ingots, and then like helping like with a really nice set of insulated gloves, kind of like hold and craft the curvature to his splint the splint armor that he's been wearing. As I just envision, like, I don't know why I envision this, but I just envision like Big Tune is not wearing like anything underneath his armor at this time. He's just straight up ripped, this like cat with like a 6-pack set of abs and like just coated in like soot and all this other stuff. As you and Garn work
medieval sexy calendar.
Oh yeah, 100%. As the two of you work, you're so honed in and focused that time for you is almost a blur, as like all you're focusing on is just making this armor better for yourself. And as you I will say that you are successfully able to craft it is +1 split mail by the end of the day here, and it's going to have an extra feature that I will add to it once I throw it on your sheet.
Fancy.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I've got like soot all over my face. I look like a quintessential gnome, like artificer. Like my hair's all fuzzed out and my apron's half burnt. Take off my goggles and like the soot around my face leaves my goggle marks. And like, yeah, you definitely did better than me today.
Yeah, I feel like now that Now that Big Two knows that that Ono regularly cleans him, he's going to actively try to get as dirty as possible all the time.
Challenge accepted.
All right, I edited the item for you, Victoon.
That's incredible. I love it.
Oh my god.
As the two of you work vigorously throughout your day, we'll pan over to Miris, who decided to make their way to the library. As Bigtoon and not Bigtoon, Miris, you take a little time. I don't think you yourself have been to the library in town here, but asking around and talking to a couple people, or just referencing it to the party before you all split ways, you're able to find your way there. The library in Bryn'Shander, if I'm not mistaken, is to Beefit.
Okay.
And ordinarily it's run by a young elven woman. But as you take a step inside and you see their book collection that they do have here, you don't see an elven woman like tending to like the front desk area. It seems to be like maybe a human girl in like her early 20s or so, young in age. As she seems to be writing something down. She sees you walk inside. Oh, you're she like doesn't know how to respond because they don't get it appears that she doesn't see a lot of tieflings, so she like looks at you and then she looks down at her book. Yes, how can I help you? We're to Beefit. We are the library here in Bryn'Shander. We try to maintain the history of the town as well as whatever collections people either seem to want to part with or that we can get our hands on from local traders. So I'm at your service here. My name is Yelaine, and how can I help you today, sir?
Yes. I was wondering if you had any books or documentations on something called either the Kia Nez, or if you have anything on a organization known as the Black Moon.
That is a good question. And she like pulls out this really large like directory like from behind the counter. Like it's a massive looking book, and she like sets it down on the table, and you just hear this very audible thud as the cover of the book seems to be like one of the symbols for like the town itself. She like opens it up and begins peering through, kind of reference what you had mentioned previously. The was it the Key of Nez and the Black Moon, right?
Yep, yeah. I'm referencing that piece of paper that I got when I believe we defeated Drogneil the first time.
Okay, I know what you're referencing now. And she begins peering through. Peering through the book. I want you to make a perception check. As I gotta make a roll for her too. Okay, same boat. As she looks through the book itself, and she finds just a singular document that she like stops on for a second. Well, I don't. And you would see like she seems to like with your perception check, you're not sure exactly 100% what it is she's actually looking for, but you can tell that whatever it is, she is looking for it very, very hard. As she stops at in the ends, you see she stops and she like looks down at the text that she can find, and she's like, well, I don't see anything here about what you called the Key of Nez. There's just a book here that we have in Bryn'Shander that was written by a author that I guess his writing name was Nez, although I'm not sure if it's the same that you might be looking for. It might be completely unrelated. You're more than welcome to check it out if you would like. It's entirely your call. I can't say with myself that I feel certain that it might be beneficial, but you're your own person. You have all day. We're open all day. Whatever you want to do, it's entirely up to you.
Sure, I'll take a look at it.
Okay. And she like takes you she like guides you to an area in the back of the library. You see that there are like a couple of like sitting and like areas that you could read. There's like a hearth with like some chairs around it, and she guides you past that to a section in the back of the library. Things here aren't arranged by alphabeticals or anything like that. They're it's really based off of the subject itself, and the author, his writing name Nez, he focused a lot on ancient history and things that maybe a lot of other cultures might have forgotten about. This is the book that we have here. It's one of a larger collection, and we only have the one, and it's like book. And she pulls it off the shelf, and there's no like cover art or anything like that. It's just like a small brown binding book with it almost looks like it's possibly like it predates possibly Bryn'Shander as a town with how old it is. This book this book is number 4 in the collection. I don't have a record on how many books he actually wrote. That would require a lot of sleuthing. I could probably work with other towns to figure that out, but it's well, she just like hands it off to you. This book is this book is known as The Life of Charlemagne. It is it seems to be a foretelling of like one of the not foretelling a history of one of the kings who ruled previously in Weird and the wars that were fought there. But it focuses a lot of details on like organizations that organizations that were like doing things in the background, so to say. Not so much what we all know about war history and like the war between Weird and Vas'Kai. Rather, what political moves might have been made, what religious groups might have been working in the shadows or funding certain operations, things that we don't think about very often. You're more than welcome to take a look through it. If it's what you think it might be, fantastic. If it's not, I do apologize. And she like holds the book out for you to grab onto.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'll take a look through this and see if I can find the information that I'm looking for. And if I'm not able to, could you possibly check with other towns to see if you can find the other volumes in this series, possibly?
Yeah, I can. If this doesn't help you, or if this proves fruitful, or if you want me to, yes, I can reach out to other towns and see if maybe they've heard of, or if they have these books on record, or if they know where I might be able to find them based off of their own literary histories. That's something I think I could do for you. That's no problem.
All right, thank you. And then I believe after that I'll sit down and start reading through the whole book, trying to find like the information I'm looking for.
Okay, I want you to make an investigation check as you are reading through text within the book. Oof. So looking through and like reading through this book, it is extremely dry as far as the how the content is like presented to the reader. While it goes into great detail about all of the like, you know, what like religious groups like the how the House of the Morning Lord worked, and like how their church tied to other events, and how like certain political groups kind of funded certain operations. The way they tell it is the most boring thing you've probably ever read. As you're used to reading literature, don't get me wrong, but this literature is in no way of interest to you whatsoever, as it just like you're like find yourself dozing off at various points.
Okay. Yeah, I think at that point I would just put the book away back on the shelf where it was taken from, and then head back to the person that was helping me before.
Okay, and you would like make your way back to the front desk, and Yelaine would see you coming back. So, was the book of interest to you? Did it describe anything that you were looking for? I'm sorry we couldn't find anything a bit more specific.
Oh, no problem. Although it was probably the most boring thing I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, Nez as an author, from what I've gathered and what I've seen previously from people of similar time periods in history, he does not entice the reader to really want to read what it is within the pages. He really should. He struggled a bit. His personable skills were not there.
Yeah, I could tell.
You got to the third chapter, and he was just like, "Nah, this guy only reads."
I don't need to know that this particular church group funded 320 gold towards moving this many soldiers, all of which were named Pete, to just like, and like he.
All of this gold was acquired by the handmaidens and the wash ladies of the surrounding farm fields, days and nights. No, sorry.
One of which owned a pig named Bucky.
It would be that. Yeah, it would be that ridiculous.
Oh, jeez.
It was very, very, very encompassing as far as that history, but in no way, shape, or form did it give you any hints of like what you were probably looking for.
Okay. Well, if you could, please check with the other towns to see if they have any other volumes by the same author that might be of interest to me.
Yeah, I will write a letter and send it out to the other librarians here within 10 towns themselves. I would send them farther south, but with everything going on and the limited travel that we have escaping the north here, or what I've heard, it's going to be harder for me to get beyond that. But I'll reach out to our neighboring cities and see if they have any more volumes in this book. But I'll also, if it's okay with you, maybe make mention of the topics that you were looking for, unless you'd prefer I left that alone.
No, yeah, please ask around about those and see if anything comes up.
That I can. And then if I get anything back here, Are you staying here in Bryn'Shander for long, or are you just passing through?
For now, I'm staying here, so I should be here for a little while longer.
Okay, then what I'll do then is, since most people who travel through Bryn'Shander, they stay at the North Look or one of the other inns, I'll just let the people at the inn know that if you are here, that we might have, like, if we find something for you, that we're expecting you to return at whatever date, or that we have information. Please stop by on your earliest convenience, etc., etc.
That sounds good to me. Thank you.
Have a good remainder of your day. And if you need anything else, you know where we are, since you found your way here the first time. As you make your way out of the To Be Fit a Method and back into 10 towns, we will pan back to Ebrin, who was making his way to the House of the Morning Lord.
That is correct.
Alright, Ebrin, you make your way through town, not really being bothered by several of the townsfolk. A lot of them seem to be kind of keeping to themselves, at least a lot more than what they used to, considering that the town used to be a lot more lively before the events that had transpired. As you make your way into the official House of the Morning Lord, you're greeted by one of the other acolytes who seem to be taking part in the religious organization. As they kind of bow when you enter, and they look out to you, and they see like that you have flowers in your hands. How may we be of assistance to you at the House of the Morning Lord today, young elf?
I would bow back in respect when they bow, and I had heard through Mishan and Duvessa what the sheriff did, and I would kind of gesture the flowers. I would like to give him the flowers and show my and the Broken's respect to him. So, if you could show me where the sheriff is.
Indeed, I can. And he, this person, they kind of guide you throughout the temple or the house of the Morning Lord, and you'd be taken into a back room, a bit out of the public eye, a decent length hallway, and then into a different room. And this room seems to be decorated significantly different than the rest of the House of the Morning Lord. You see that this one, you can tell it's more so for, like, it is where, like, if someone had, like, let's say, like an open casket type event where you have a gathering of people to show the, show a dead guy or gal. This would be the room that they would probably have people filtering in and out of. It's decorated with like a couple of plants. The room temperature here seems to be a bit warmer than that outside. Instead of being the biting cold of 0 and below, it's more of like a 30 to well, not 30, probably like between 50 and 60 degrees. It's relatively well kept in here. You see that there's like a large statue in the very far end of the room that seems to be that, like, the avatar state, like the avatar form of the Morning Lord himself, holding what seems to be like a dangling from a chain the symbol of a sun, as it seems like to be staring down at the dead body. It's lifeless. It's a statue, but you can see the folded armed appearance of the sheriff. His physical form seems to be the way it was when you saw him the night before. His physical appearance didn't seem to transfer. It seems to have been more of a spirit transferred than anything else. As you see that somebody else previously has already brought at least some flowers into this room, as resting on the sheriff's feet is three individual flowers, one of which is a void blossom.
I would wait my turn. My turn. I would.
Oh, there's nobody else in here. It's just you.
Ah, okay. I would walk up then, set the bouquet down by his feet, close my eyes, tilt my head down, say a quick prayer in Elven to him. I would tap him on the shoulder and finish and kind of sigh a little bit and proceed to make my way out of the room and out of the House of the Morning Lord.
Okay. Yeah, you take time, you utter out a prayer, you lay your bouquet, and you'd be granted as much time as you needed to pay your respects. The acolyte who would guide you would just merely be waiting outside as you finish what you're wanting to do, and you make your way out of the House of the Morning Lord. I guess, is there time-wise between actually it would really just be you, Ebrin, because the amount of time that you would spend here versus like what everybody else is doing would be a bit less. Is there anything else that you wanted to do time-wise? Otherwise, I'm gonna zoom time forward.
I did actually want to go to the library.
Okay. I would say that as you make your way to the library, it would be, we're gonna make it noon. And as you get there, you would see, once again, as I described before, a younger woman, probably in her early 20s, instead of the elf that you had talked to previously, to be Fitamephet. And she greets you as well. How can I help you? Also, same thing with Miris. Bit different in appearance compared to other people, but doesn't make any comments about it. Just fumbles on her words a little bit. Welcome to Be Fitamephet, the library here in Bryn'Shander. How can I be of service?
I was wondering if you have enchantments, anything about archery, and possibly any way to amplify the power of arrows, whether it be towards an arrow is more effective towards one species, or it can be enchanted to do a little bit more damage.
So you're looking for books that can help you with that, or you're physically looking for arrows that can do different things?
Books on it.
Okay. Well, I should be able to help you with that. And she kind of guides you to a section of the library that you see that there's a couple of other individuals ranging from like halfling to human, who are like reading like in the aisle briefly, and they like see you walk past with the attendant and go back to what they were doing. As they take you about halfway through one of the bookshelves, and she like files her finger across several different books of varying sizes, and she finds just one small novella that she pulls out to hand to you. This book here is it's a book that gives you a good descriptor, not just of it's beyond intro level archery. It's more so focused on, for the most part, it focuses on what many authors who write in this genre know as the hunt, hunting beasts in the wild. But it gives you some tips on hunting, like understanding different beasts and what you might need to do to your weaponry to help you improve said maybe targeting of those beasts, or hitting weak points, or how to penetrate through armor. I think they go into specifics in here. She like filters through the pages to like probably about chapter 2 or 3. They talk about like how do you pierce through the armor of a boulet to get to the fleshy underneath, things like that. It doesn't really give you, it's not going to give you all of your answers, but it gives you a starting idea and how to maybe affect some of your arrows to, if you're savvy enough, how to affect some of your arrows to increase damage on certain creatures. Also known as, in layman's terms, how to make arrows that have extra damage to other beasts like monstrosities and humanoids, and like how to make arrows that maybe do extra damage against specific targets.
Okay. I'll definitely take that depending on the cost. Do you potentially also have anything that could help me understand this better? I would kind of hold out my hand and summon a psionic dagger. Basically anything that can help me understand arcana better and psionic abilities or anything like that. And I'll make it flashingly dissipate if possible.
Psionics. And she she kind of brings her finger up to like her mouth and like rubs it for a second. We might have something. Let's go take a look. And she kind of guides you to a different section of the library. Your area that you were in right now primarily focuses on like weaponry and like the different types. You would see, as you're walking to this other side, you would see Miris reading the book from Nez Zabalton, sitting in one of the chairs by the hearth. As
Can I make a roll real quick?
Sure. Yeah, in regards to what exactly?
I'd like to roll a stealth check to scare Miris.
Okay. Has to be passive percent. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Miris is so locked in this. I wouldn't say locked into the contents of the book, but just locked so hard in trying to find the contents that he's looking for in the book. Miris does not see you within the library here.
What the heck?
What's up?
Oh, hey, Libran. Wasn't expecting that.
Stop, just stopping in. Find everything you're looking for?
Not exactly.
That's not good. What are you looking for in particular?
I'm looking for any information on the Kianez or an organization known as the Black Moon.
Okay. Well, um, I would also say while we're here, you might want to consider looking at any books that deal with your type of school of magic. Maybe something about your hand, um, spells that you could learn possibly, or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, I never thought of that before, but yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
But sorry, he's part of my party. We're the Broken. We're staying at the North Look right now, so I don't know
I'm
if he
going to
told you
assume
that.
that the Broken is a takeoff of the gnomish tongue and not just literally saying that you're broken.
I love everybody knows this word.
I
Not
mean,
everyone,
we do.
but there's some people who understand gnomish.
There's educated people.
That it is dwarven, but it does have some irony, as some of us do have a lot of personal issues, and I just like start kind of like twiddling my thumbs.
Well,
Psionics, you were
something-
gonna show me psionics.
And as she's like, right, as she like takes you towards the where they were heading, you can hear her kind of utter herself. I'm going to assume that you meant gnomish and not dwarvish. Broken in dwarvish literally means latrine, so I'm going to assume that's not what you meant. Anyway, as she keeps walking, she takes you to another section of books that focus on like innate magical ability. There's not a lot. In fact, the books here, you can tell that they've been either reprinted, or if they haven't been reprinted, they're in really, really bad shape. But there's only a handful, and it's like its own separate bookshelf. She has to like unlock the bookshelf itself to even be able to open it, as they seem to be under lock and key. I can't physically let you leave with the books that are here in this particular section. They're pretty important to the head librarian here. I would hate to be on her bad side, but you are welcome to look through this one, or look through. She like grabs one of the books that seems to be reprinted. This book right here focuses primarily on innate abilities. One of the things that they focus on is like there are certain people whose magic comes from within them, versus having to study for it, versus maybe it was passed down through a bloodline, for example. It kind of goes into the differences between each of those, and like what the potential of these individuals can be. I don't know if it'll give you the info you're looking for controlling psionics in general, but they do mention psionics within the book as one of the forms of magic that can be innate or passed down through bloodlines. And some people, I guess, they can also just learn how to harness it. But they talk about psionics in this particular book. Like I said, not sure if it's going to be 100% what you're looking for, but if you want to read through it, I will, be close by, because I cannot let you walk out of here with said book. And she will hold it out to you if you wanted to take it, and then she'd begin locking up the bookcase again.
Yeah, I would extend my hand out, and I'm not gonna know if it's gonna help till I finish reading it. So I will, if all possible, go sit next to my colleague Miris and get the reading.
All right, I want you to make an investigation check for me.
It's just straight or advantage?
No, it's a straight roll. It's a straight roll. Miris is focusing on his own thing. He can't help you. Okay, and refresh me again what exactly you were looking for.
Basically anything that's going to help me understand my powers more, whether it be through having added effects, having a stronger connection to it, being able to do things further, Like, can I double the distance that I could teleport using hit die? Can I hit harder with my arcane ability, or just even understand the psionic capabilities? Or there's quite literally a lot that you could RP with here that I would be content with, whether it be minimal or be maximum. She spoke about bloodlines. Maybe there's something about, my blood in particular or something like that.
So what's mentioned in this book, like she said, is there's a lot of talks of the different types of abilities and like how one goes about acquiring them, whether it's innate, studied, inherited, etc. As you read through, in particular, the area of psionics, it does mention that a lot of the abilities that are gained through psionic power are tied to being inherited from previous groups, not groups, like previous generations. So like generally, if someone, if they have a parent who has psionic power, there is a much higher chance that the child themselves will also have psionic power. And the potential of the children seems to be stronger than that of the parents themselves. Think like, like Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z, like how the kids usually have an easier time achieving Super Saiyan compared to their parents because their parents had achieved that before they were born, etc. One thing that you do see is that over time, your the ability to use psionics can be honed and increased. It just requires you to focus on using it a significant amount. They went into a story of like a great mage who harnessed the powers of both evocation and fire magic and used psionics to lay waste to like a bunch of different areas. But the person spent years upon years focusing on their psionic talents in order to amplify and combine that with their with the other talents that they had. It just, in layman's terms, over the course of your adventures, if you, during downtime, continue to, decide that you want to try and enhance your psionics, this would be something that there would be rolls that would need to be made. There would need to be, it would need to be done more than just once. It would be done several times. But over time, you could increase, like, the range of your, like your daggers being thrown, or the amount of either time or distance that you can be apart from your party using your telepathic abilities. It just needs to be practiced and honed to improve, just like, working out a muscle.
Knowledge I did not know. And I would kind of say that out loud enough for like mirrors to hear. Well, I had a eventful trip here. I gotta hand this book back, but I'll wait for you if you want to check and see if they have any other books. Kind of like I mentioned, maybe there's spells you could learn, different tactics on how to attack. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, man. You're your own person, but we're here. We got time. Might as well see if they got something else for you.
Yeah.
Like, I'd
You would
start
hear
pulling
like
out of my
a different patron just like shush you. People are trying to read in here. You're talking too loud.
How many?
I am not there to defend you. I can't.
Kind of do the tongue thing where I like rub your teeth and be like, damn it, I can't do it again. All right, my bad. I'd hand the book back to the lady and be like, all right, I would like to buy the other book though, if possible.
The one on archery.
Yes.
Right. That we can do. Once we get back to my counter, I'll let you know the gold value. She takes the book and she goes over to the bookcase, unlocks, puts it back, locks the case back up, and then she will go back to where you were with the archery book, and she'll grab the book off the shelf once again and make her way to the counter whenever you're ready for. As Miris, because of the time it would take you to read that dry book, you would be able, if you wanted to, you'd be able to try and look for a different book in the library. But given the time frame, it would be at a there would be a difficulty attached to that. So it'd be like a -5 penalty for your roll if you wanted to pursue it.
Yeah.
I could help you look.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So could this lovely young lady.
Yeah. I guess maybe we could try to find a book explaining like why my hand is burning, if
Okay.
possible.
Through your
Okay.
patron, though, not like medically, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why is it happening when, I guess, certain events come about?
Okay. You would see Elaine like inquisitively like looking at you and like trying to understand why your hand is burning and it's not medically related. Well, I guess when like she'd be like looking for details like is it a magical pain? Is it from like spells being cast? Is it something else entirely? Like I need more details as to why your hand might burn before I can even think about which section of this library might have what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think it's more of a magical burn, and it seems to only happen when, like, I come across, I don't know, a certain people, if that makes sense.
Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, some people, this is a bit of a personal question, Miris. The magic that you have, is it innate? Is it learned? Is it? Well, I've heard of people in other towns making pacts with otherworldly beings to get magical power. Is it anything like that? Is it? I guess I need a little bit of detail.
Yeah, so I did make a pact with a demon in order to get some of my powers, so I feel as if it may be related to that.
What's her reaction?
You can tell that you kind of caught her off guard in regards to when you said you made a pact with a demon, but she like looks at you and like you're already a tiefling and like she doesn't like let out that she's also not like that it's not surprised, yeah, but she like dives into like the index of the ledger and she's like okay, pacts. Well, there's a book on there are a couple different books that might be available. One of them focuses on side effects that people have experienced making pacts with otherworldly beings. One of them focuses on the connection between the individual and the pact bearer, their patron. And a third one looks at what happens if you break your pact. Do either any of these seem of interest to you?
Yeah, I guess maybe I'll have a look at all of them, if possible.
I was gonna say, is there a deal if you were to get all three?
This guy.
I mean, given that these books are written by...
I'm buying a book as well, so there's 4 prices right there.
First spell book for me. Come on.
I mean, these books are all written by different authors, and while their current topics might be of similar interest, with the exception of your archery book, I don't really see how they'd be related enough for me to give you a bundle deal, Mr.
Not even for the
Ebrin.
Saviors of Bryn'Shander? Ugh.
This guy. This guy.
Tough
Really milking that
negotiator.
title, huh?
This guy.
Look, we did just save your town. Give me all your shit.
No, just
He's
making sure we get the best deal.
Make a persuasion check.
Take a deep breath.
I got Mirrors next to me. Does that help at
See,
all?
it would be at disadvantage, but if you have Mirrors with you, it'll be a straight roll. She's not impressed. I tell you what, the total for the books, if you wanted to purchase them outright, there'd be all 4 of the books. The 3 tied to patrons and warlock type magic in general. The 4th one being a book on how to improve archery skills. All of them together would bring your total to about 15 gold pieces, but at a discount, I would say for a total of 10. All the
About 10 or
text here.
15.
Okay. And she would, like, without even really needing to lead Mirrors and Ebrin within more of the library, she would, like, go... She would still be within eyesight. It's like a center aisle all the way back. You can see, like, there's a window in the back. And she, like, grabs 3 books from 3 different shelves and brings them back to the front counter. These right here will be the books that you were looking for. You're more than welcome to take them with you on your travels since, well, your friend here had purchased them. This way you don't have to sit and read them within the library here. You're more than welcome to. People come here to read all the time. But if you have other things that are more pressing that you would like to focus on, by all means, you are more than welcome to, well, they're yours. As she, like, pushes them towards you. She pushes the archery book towards you, Ebrin, and takes your 15 gold pieces. All of these books are considered reprints, which means that someone has either rewritten them or, with a mass press, created more of them. These are not original copies, so I don't feel bad only asking for a total of 15 gold pieces for them. But they'll provide you with useful information regardless. As she kind of collects the coin and counts it. If there's anything else that I can help you with, you're more than welcome to ask, or any of our other attendants here. But I do have, and she, like, points behind you, and you see that there's, like, now a small line of, like, 3 other individuals who are, like, looking to check out. I do have other people that I need to take care of right now. But please, by all means, feel free to stop back at the To Be Fit Method or hang around, and I'll try to answer your questions when I can. As she kind of tries to, like, usher you guys, like, just off to the side at the very least to begin working with the other individuals. Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?
Well, Mirrors, I think you got some good books. I think that was a smart thing to get all 3. I felt like getting them for you because you kind of joined the group and immediately got tossed into the crap end of the stick here. So definitely let us know if you find out anything more about your powers within your reads. And I got this weird burning sensation that Ono is eventually going to want to come here at some point. So might have to stop back tomorrow and try to find him something.
Like, set up from, like, destroying a piece of fucking automaton like parts, and I go, I need to read a book.
He's like, I just envision, like, you like pull out, like, a book from your pack just by saying that. It's just like,
yeah,
I need to read a book. Pulls out one of the many books that Ono conveniently has on their person already.
Like, slam it down and just set it right next to me.
Book break.
Mm-hmm.
As the party venturing from their other locations, it would be Mirrors and Ebrin leaving the To Be Fit Method, Big Toon and Ono finishing their works on the items that they were doing. I would say, yeah. So you were not able to complete Kanit's arm. You're a bit too distracted. You've made decent headway, but V1 is not functional. We'll say.
Yeah, that's fine.
As Big Toon, you're
how well I did.
Yeah, your armor looks fantastic, by the way. It is.
I am proud and jealous.
Amazing. Through and through.
I definitely scratched, so anyways, I started blasting, like, along one of the edges.
Just stop.
I'm not surprised. I think with that in mind, we're gonna leave it there today.